even said a word.
It's just a,
All right, go ahead.
It's a good practice.
it
Yep.
is. That was a practice.
That was good.
You ready? Hi, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Jamil.
And we are here with Orlando, the center director, at one of the most interesting places in South Florida.
Yeah, something that impacts everyone.
Absolutely. So, like we were talking about earlier, when you're driving down on Congress, you see Florida blue everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of a mystery of what goes on in here. So to be in here personally is really exciting.
I always say that this is a hidden jewel.
It
And a lot
is.
of people don't even know what happens inside. They think it's just an office,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's much more than that. We are at Florida Blue Center. This is one of many that we have throughout the state. And I see it more like a community center because we do a lot of things here for not only members, but also the community as a whole.
Well, even as we were sitting here, if you turn anywhere, coping with grief, healthy eating for diabetes, there's so many different things that are happening that impact everyone.
Correct.
Every single person out there is impacted in some way and needs your help.
Yeah. And you spoke on something about the 4 legs,
Correct.
you know, of the center. Can you dive into that?
I always say that we're like a chair. We have 4 legs, and the 4 legs are the following. We obviously have sales. We need to connect people with access to healthcare. We also have service for people that already have Florida Blue and they need help navigating their benefits. We also have care, which is a care team composed of 2 nurses, and we have community specialists, which is a caseworker that helps members and non-members connect with resources in the community.
Wow, I mean, that's a big deal because like I even know from my own personal journey, trying to figure out health insurance and all of
Yeah.
these things is so confusing. And it was a great reminder walking in here because open enrollment's about to start and I was like, oh, I should look for a better option. I don't have Florida Blue and my insurance is not so great lately.
Correct. Open enrollment starts November 1st and runs until January 15 for anyone that is in the marketplace. When I mean in the marketplace, it means that they are part of the Affordable Care Act and they get their insurance with a subsidy from the healthcare marketplace. People that do not receive a subsidy have an open enrollment that already started in October and they run as well until January 15.
All right, so when you look at the dates and you say that term open enrollment, a lot of people may not even know what open enrollment means. So what is open enrollment?
Sadly, a lot of people show up wanting to get insurance, let's say in May, and they don't necessarily know that there is an open enrollment period that the government establishes for every single insurance company. It's just to navigate and help control when people are able to enroll in a plan or change a plan. That doesn't mean that that person in May cannot qualify for something called a special enrollment period. And those happen when, for example, you get married, or you have a baby, or you lose coverage because you left a job, or your immigration status changed. A lot of different reasons allow you to enroll in a plan outside of the open enrollment window. But you really have to qualify for those 12 or 14 reasons that the government gives us.
Right. And if, say, you know, with a lot of employers, if you're already on a plan, a lot of times people don't, you know, come back during the open enrollment period to look and see what their other options. And sometimes they just let it roll over, just renew automatically. What do you think about that?
That's very important. A lot of people think that it automatically renews and I don't have to do anything about it. That's far from the truth. Every single year, you should sit with a licensed insurance agent that knows every single detail about your plan. Why? Because every year your plan may change. Your deductible, your co-payments may change. Your plan may not be offered next year. So it's important to know what your options are going into the year so that you know what your plan is doing and behaving.
What is like the biggest misconception when you talk about affordable healthcare?
That they cannot afford it. A lot of people think that health insurance is too expensive and that they don't have access to a healthcare plan. And that is far from true. The Affordable Care Act came into a play in 2010, so it's been around for a while. And there have been 2 additional acts that have expanded the benefits. So for example, people now making 6 figures can still qualify for a subsidy. And that subsidy makes the payment go down. Oftentimes people pay $0 for their healthcare plan. It all depends on the amount of people in your household, the amount of money that the household is generating. The household income is important. And where you are residing or living. With those 3 elements, we can definitely help anyone do an application in the healthcare marketplace, identify how much subsidy they're getting, and then see if they can get a $0 plan, or oftentimes 3 out of 4 times they pay less than $10.
That's amazing, because I think there are so many people that you hear that say they can't afford healthcare, and everybody deserves to have healthcare. So to be able to have a resource like you provide here, where someone can sit down and talk to somebody, is a big deal, because it can be intimidating or scary. Or, I mean, I remember when I had to look for the first time after my job didn't give it to me, we were so overwhelmed and didn't even know where to start, and frankly picked the wrong plan and had to wait until the next time we could change it. So being able to come in here and meet with someone can change so many lives.
Before I was working with Florida Blue, I was in the same boat. I had no idea what a deductible was, what a co-payment was, what a co-insurance is. Out of network, in network, so it's confusing. And that's why I emphasize that you need to talk to someone that is licensed by the state and someone that knows your options. Otherwise, you may be misdirected or not have enough information to make a sound decision. That being said, I want to also emphasize that we don't necessarily just talk about members. We actually service a lot of people in the community that are not with Florida Blue. So for example, we do 2 lectures every month. One of them is done by our nurse, and the other one is done by our caseworker. And those topics can be something like coping with grief, or it could be healthy eating for diabetes. All of those lectures are open to the public, be it a Florida Blue member or not. And they are free of charge, and it's very educational.
That is beautiful. Because usually when you think of health insurance, you're thinking, only that they are only helping their people. But to hear that other people are welcome, because you just want people to be healthy. I mean, that it says a lot about Florida Blue as a company and what you stand for and what matters to you.
Florida Blue only cares about helping families and communities live healthier lives. That's our bottom line.
So if I'm going to go into the marketplace and try to figure out what to do for insurance, where do you recommend everybody starts to be able to connect with Florida Blue?
As I said, we have more than 30 or 40 centers like this ones throughout the states. And the first step, I would say, come and talk to someone face to face. This community center, the way I call it, it's a retail center, is open Monday to Sunday. So every single day we are open here. Monday to Fridays is 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And on Sundays we're open from noon to 6 p.m. So it's very easy to find an appointment and talk to someone that can help you navigate the process. And that's basically how the Florida Blue centers operate.
It's amazing.
You know, I know even as we sit here now, there's a group of individuals, you know, coming into their gathering in the center. You know, so when you talk about it being like almost like a community center, this is what you guys are serving. So what's going on now?
So this is a perfect example of the classes that we provide. This is a seated yoga class. It's very mild for people that are not necessarily strong in their balance. And we have a very solid following. There are like 25 members
at least 20 of them
and non-members that come every single week. And in addition to the seated yoga class, we also provide Tai Chi. We do another class that is all about developing balance and avoiding falls. We do classes of meditation, all sorts of different activities that are all geared to leading healthier lives and open to the public.
So it needs a lot of things. You know, when people look at preventative care measures, this is one activity, and I hear that you guys have another big activity that's coming up, a big event coming up here for preventative care. Do you want to speak about that as well?
You hit it right on the spot. Preventive care is super important, and a lot of people think, oh, I'm healthy, I don't need a healthcare plan. Far from it. For us to be healthy, we need to do preventive care. Otherwise, when you realize that there's a problem, it may be a little too late, and the cost will be higher. So preventive care, as you mentioned, we are doing a mammogram event on November 23rd, right here in the center. We'll bring a brick truck, and they do 3D mammograms, which is a new technology. And those are usually covered by your healthcare plan at zero cost because it's preventive care. And the same way that women do mammogram exams, men can do prostate exams, and we can do visits to our primary care doctors to check and see how our blood work is looking. And those are important to stay healthy.
Well, and you know, you talk about the stuff for the men and also for the women. We know that men rarely like to go to the doctors. Women are on point when it comes to that. So what's your message out there for the men?
Every man should know their PSA levels. That's the measurement to know how your prostate is doing and avoid prostate cancer. So at least on a yearly basis, you should have blood work done that measures that PSA. And that's just one of many other ways that you can prevent illnesses in the future and stay healthy.
I don't know my PSA level. I have to go
You're
figure
at the
that out.
place where people can help you.
We can definitely hook you up with an appointment.
Yeah, I definitely have to do that.
Amazing. And for
sure.
everybody out there, is there anything else that you want to make sure they know about your team here at Florida Blue?
Basically, that we are open to the public. Don't feel that you have to be a Florida Blue member to come in. We enjoy having people every day. So on a monthly basis, I said we had 2 lectures. Feel free to look at our calendar and select one of those lectures that may be of interest, or make an appointment with any one of our members. Our nurses can help with BMI, with personal health assessments. They even can do A1Cs to check your glucose levels.
Wow.
Our nurse can also do diabetic retinal exams, which are done for people that have high glucose and they're concerned about going into diabetes. So a lot of different activities and things can be done right here in the center for members and non-members. So give us a try.
Amazing. Wow, I am blown away. It really is such a special place, and the more that we're learning, the more excited I am, and what a wonderful place to have right here in our community.
No, I totally agree. So if you're riding down Congress Avenue, you have any questions, especially when it comes to healthcare, I say just stop into the building.
Right.
Just come in and ask a question. You know, a lot of times people are like, oh, I can't call, I can't get anybody on the phone. You don't have to call, especially if you're local. Come here, step right into the building. Come in and check it out. Come and see my boy Orlando, his whole team. They'll take care.
We'll be happy.
For
There's
sure.
water and coffee for anyone.
Wow.
Can't
water,
beat that.
Coffee and healthcare. It doesn't get better than that, guys.
Yes. So
Thank you for
Thank you very much.
Yes, we are so excited and so grateful to have you here in Delray, Boynton area.
Glad to have you here, Amanda and Jamel.
yes. Oh, he got my name right.
Yeah, well, have a Delray day.
Peace out.